Hey y'all, it's supposed to be Maniac here, and porting, it's not easy. Trust me, I know, I tried porting my life to a calculator. Fun fact, it doesn't work. So, let's make it easier by porting my life to an egg. It's Wednesday, alright. The video game port is when a game code is remade for another piece of hardware to run natively on it. Now, doing a port is pretty good because it means the game should work well on this piece of hardware. Oh, don't worry, we'll get to that one. Now, I have talked about bad ports in the past, however, I do want to talk about some more. Street Fighter 2 on MS-DOS. To be fair, if a game releases on everything known to man, honestly I'm surprised I can't play this game on my fridge. But again, with this game being on everything, a bad port or two is not surprising. Street Fighter 2 on MS-DOS looks fine in the pictures, however, it is not fun while playing, that's for sure. The game runs very poorly, and probably one of the worst thing, the arcade game had 6 buttons and the PC uses 1 button. Now, you control with the keyboard, and to anyone who's played the original, it feels like you're playing with a boxing glove. It also has long load times between fights and glitchy movements. Now, I feel like this one's going to be pretty controversial. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. It's arguable if this was a port or a remaster. Either way, lazy is still f***ing lazy. Now, Mario Sunshine has been bumped up to 16:9, however, it does suffer from performance issues. Yes, a game that came out in 2002 has performance issues in a collection on a console that came out in 2017. For some strange reason, Mario 64 is stuck in 4x3, and it's really, this entire collection was really them just selling you emulators for $60. Wow, Nintendo, don't you love your fans? Oh, yeah. No! Mortal Kombat 4 on the Game Boy Color. It's Mortal Kombat 4 on the Game Boy Color, how do you think it turned out? The Last of Us Part 1 on PC. The first Last of Us is generally seen as the best game ever made and was a PlayStation exclusive for over a decade. Take that, Microsoft! It's a gun! The game originally released on the PlayStation 3 and is amazing with its storytelling. However, later on when the game was released on PC, it was a buggy mess, it frequently crashed, and it had amusing graphical glitches and harbored an inordinately long shaders. The game actually also released with less content than the original PS3 version. For instance, it doesn't have the multiplayer anymore. Pac-Man for Atari 2600. How do you f*** up Pac-Man? He's not even a full circle! Oh, that's how. So the game, just looking at it, already looks weird, but the opening music is straight ear-bleeding. The ghosts are flickering and the sound of collecting pellets sounds like drums. The Super Pellets theme isn't the worst. However, not being the worst doesn't mean it's good. This is just not a good way to play Pac-Man. Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis is Sonic 1 on the Game Boy Advance, and it's just f***ing awful. The game runs so slow and the frame rate is so bad it can probably make you throw up. The soundtrack was remade, and in my opinion, it's not the worst. However, it's definitely not nearly as good as the original. There is also an anniversary mode. What does it do? Add new playable characters like Tails or Knuckles. You get the Spin Dash. You just get the Spin Dash. Why isn't that just an option in the menu? Why does it have to have its own mode? The physics are completely off, and Sonic just feels so floaty for some reason. The special stages have also been changed. They're way easier now to get the Chaos Emerald by the cube things that you need to break. They now break a lot faster. Labyrinth Zone is now even slower than it was in the original. The screen crunch is unbearable, and if there's anything more than 5 things on screen, the frame rate tanks. Now, I've not played this on real hardware, but I have played it on an emulator, and it's just not fun, and I can't imagine on real hardware it's any better. This has got to be the worst way to experience Sonic 1. This port is so bad that, in my opinion, probably deserves a talk on its own. So, that was some more bad ports, and let's see how the port of my life turned out this time. I don't know how, but I had an egg, and somehow I came out with bread.